Hello! This week we have a very special video based on a customer request to make a game that responds to Nerf darts. We've tried this in the past, and a typical Nerf dart is very small, and the cameras that our system supports generally don't have the resolution to track small, fast objects. In order to do that, you need a much more expensive camera, and as you probably know if you've used LUMOplay, our goal is to develop software that will work with off-the-shelf hardware that's really inexpensive and easy to get. But Nerf does make a gun that has bigger darts, so I ordered one. And I'm gonna open it, we're gonna take a look at the darts and see if this gun will work on an existing off-the-shelf LUMOplay game. So here's the gun. I hope it came with darts. Yeah. I see them in there. So it comes, this is I forget what it's called, the Nerf Mega? The Mega Big Rig? That's great. I haven't owned a Nerf gun for a very long time, but I do have some B-roll footage of me shooting Nerf darts at a Toyfair award presentation to which I was never invited back. So if I can find that, we'll add that to this video. So these darts, these are a little bit bigger than the darts that you typically get. I'm gonna have to figure out how to load these. There's no instructions, so you just put them, is that how you do it? Put them in the barrel. So I think I figured out how you load this thing. You put your dart in there, and then you've got 2 extra darts you can pull out of here. Then I think this compresses air somehow, and then you can shoot it. Whoa, it makes a sound. So that was fast. I don't know that LUMOplay is going to be able to track that, and I also don't know if I'm going to get my dart back. But let's go try it out on the wall and see if it works. Okay, I don't think that this is gonna work, but we're gonna give it a try. Oh! Okay, hang on, I wanna see if I can get the bad guys. Nope. This is gonna be hard because I have to reload it every time. But it did start the game. I missed it that time. Having to reload it is annoying. And also it doesn't really aim right. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work. So normally what we use for interactive walls is a very big ball like this. And that will see the path of the ball coming in as well as the impact on the wall. But as you can see, it's not very fast. And so the issue with the Nerf darts, I think, is that they move at a very high speed and the cameras have a limit to the frames per second that they can track. So if I shoot this wall, it doesn't have time to see the dart hitting the wall. If I take the dart, these are pretty big. They're not nearly as big as the balls we normally use, but if I just throw that dart against the wall, it does see, LUMOplay does see it coming in a little bit. But there's a bit of a delay, I think partly because the dart is very small, so it's only seeing the dart for a very brief amount of time. So we can potentially change that with calibration. I don't know if we're gonna be able to get tracking working on the darts going full speed, but while Curt is optimizing for calibration, I'm gonna see what I can do to slow these darts down.
Hello.
Hey Curt, so I got a Nerf gun with big darts, but the darts are not being detected by LUMOplay very well, and I think there's a combination of factors. One is that the darts move really, really fast, and the other is that they're pretty small compared to the balls that we normally use. So I thought we could kind of try and approach this from two angles. On one hand, maybe you can play with the calibration while we throw darts at the wall and see if you can get the system to see the darts. And I'll see what I can do about slowing these darts down and maybe making them a little bit bigger by taping things to them. Sound good?
Okay, yeah, let's see what the calibration sees.
Okay, I'm gonna bring you over to the wall with the Nerf gun. And I'm going to start by just shooting shooting a dart at it full speed. Sound good?
Sure, do you want me to leave the game on, or can I bring up the video feed?
You can bring up the video feed since that's what you're gonna need for calibration. All right, tell me when.
Go ahead.
So it does see a little bit of something.
It does. Saw that. Let me see.
It also takes a heck of a long time to reload. I was gonna test this entire experience with the Saloon Shootout game, but man, that game is fast paced. That's too fast for I can't shoot people that fast.
Need an easy mode for that game, apparently.
Oh, we're getting into the experimental resolution features, I see.
Yeah, well, I wonder if with a higher resolution image, if we can track the dart.
Okay.
This doubles the resolution, but I don't know if your CPU can handle the processing.
We're using the Ruby from Simply Nook for this. So this will be a good test.
Yeah, that may not be able to handle it. Usually you need a pretty powerful computer for that.
Okay, well that's good to know. Let's give it a try anyway. Momo loves the Nerf gun, by the way.
Yeah, which one was that?
It is called the... I have to keep looking at it. It's the Nerf Big Rig Mega, which sounds like a truck to me. That doesn't sound like a gun name. Does Cooper have one of these?
He does have a large Nerf gun. It might be that one, actually.
It's annoying. You have to load each dart one at a time.
Unfortunately, we don't have it here because we can't have Nerf in the house because our one cat eats the darts.
Oh. Oh no.
Yeah, we can't have anything Nerf here because the cat is an idiot.
So are you gonna launch something so I can shoot at it?
Yeah, which game were you running before? Was it the free particles?
Yeah, do particles appear? Because then at least we see particles. It doesn't. Let's start with just getting something to appear on the wall, and then ready.
I want to bring up the feed as well. Oh, except we have to recalibrate because of the double feed.
We do have to recalibrate.
Forgot that was.
Do you want me to hold the gun at the corners?
Shouldn't need to hold the gun there.
Because you'll be able to see it. Gotcha. Okay.
On this camera, I'm able to see.
It's pretty noisy at the top there. Is it because it's at an angle?
Well, I'm gonna have to capture the
advanced calibration.
Yeah. So I have to clear that. Capture it.
Can you explain what you're doing a little bit while you do it?
Well, these are the controls for what I just did was the capturing the blank slate here.
Yeah, so you're just capturing an image of what it looks like when nothing.
Yeah, this is what it looks like without any adjustments. So if I click this, it grabs a picture of the depth values of basically an empty slate, an empty scene, so it knows.
It knows where what it
where
looks
the
like.
wall is.
Yeah, what it looks like when nothing is happening. Does it also do something where it adjusts for the angle?
Yes, that's what that is. Otherwise, we would manually adjust that, which is not something we even do anymore using these sliders. Yeah. But we don't even recommend that because this effectively
takes over for that.
Yeah, And then this here, I'm just turn that down so it lag out.
Got it. So that first little camera button step is just to tell LUMOplay software where the wall actually is. And what you're doing now is you're setting the depth detection range right in front of that wall, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically trying to get it so that there's just a thin, like almost slice of area in front of the wall that we want to track balls or darts or whatever you're throwing at the wall.
Right. And we have a better video that kind of breaks down these tools, so I'll link to that from this video, but the advanced calibration tools are found in the menu under preferences, right? Or is it advanced? You open the drop-down menu in the top left and then go to advanced.
You go here, you go to preferences, and then you go to advanced calibration.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, we don't know for sure that this is even gonna work, but in case it does work and you wanna try it at home, that's where you find these tools. All right, so I see you're cranking up the sensitivity. That's good.
Yeah, well, I don't usually turn it down when I'm adjusting.
Yeah,
otherwise, the detection methods will overload when I do something like this. And
yeah, you won't be able to tell the difference between what you're changing in the settings and the actual noise.
Well, and due to the additional computations of having just a really noisy feed, it can actually lock or like soft lock the system because it's only running at 1 or 2 frames per second.
Good to know. Good to know.
So whenever I'm making large adjustments, I always turn the sensitivity down to 0 to start, make my adjustments, and bring the sensitivity back up to see where we're detecting motion. Good.
Tell me when I can shoot things. I got an itchy trigger finger.
If you want to shoot now, I can see if it detects anything.
Okay. It was delayed, but I saw something. It also wasn't in the place where I shot. I'm gonna do it again. No, so I think what's happening is it's detecting it probably on the bounce back. So it won't be like...
Yeah, it probably sees it when it's decent.
Yeah, I actually saw the path that time. So it's hitting it on the bounce back. So I'm gonna try just throwing it. That didn't detect anything.
I saw it hit about here and then it fell down.
All right, I'm gonna throw a dart again, Curt.
Okay.
Oh, that time it saw.
Saw it about here.
Yeah, it's not super accurate, but...
it may be because of the window, the slice that I'm taking. Here, let me turn the sensitivity down again.
Okay.
Because to avoid the noise from this particular sensor, like this is about where the wall is, but I pulled it back looks like another almost a full foot. So we're not seeing anything between a foot away from the wall to the wall itself. So any arcing is being...
I'm just throwing balls to see if I can get like accurate ball.
Yeah, well, I have the sensitivity turned off.
Oh, so. That's why. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the arcing and the ball, it's not actually... You can see the point where it loses the ball.
Yeah, it's because the real sense, unfortunately, is a little noisy for this.
But this brings up an interesting point where, like, it is detecting the ball falling for the longest amount of time. So if we can get the darts to just fall straight down instead of bouncing back off the wall.
Yeah, well, this is Nerf we're dealing with.
I know, they're bouncy. But, I mean, they're my darts now. I can do what I want with them. So I think this is the calibration that you have going. This is as good as we can get it for like a short test like this. So now I'm just going to try and slow the darts down.
Yeah, I could adjust. We could try adjusting the noise, but we start losing smaller things.
No, I mean at this point we know that it can see a dart. It's just not seeing the dart when it comes in super quickly, right?
Yeah, and that comes down to many things.
And it's not crazy accurate, but for some types of experiences, it doesn't need to be. And the question that we're trying to answer here is, can we make something that will respond to Nerf darts? So respond is kind of loose, I think.
Yeah, and Nerf dart is kind of loose too, since we're using the biggest
Nerf dart is-
possible
Yeah.
Nerf dart we could find.
Yeah, exactly. So I think let's try and slow down the darts next, and then do one more test, and call it a day. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Okay. Okay, so by taping, I'm taping a flat cardboard piece to the front of the dart, which will increase the surface area that the camera will be able to see, as well as hopefully slowing down the dart significantly. So that should give us a few more frames to actually track its position. I wonder if you can get Nerf darts customized. If you can just contact Mr. Nerf and say, hey, I have special Nerf dart needs.
I've known people to 3D print them, but depending on the material you use, could put some serious dents in your wall.
Oh man, yeah, 3D printing would be an answer to this. So my first dart is ugly but works. It doesn't fly great, so I think aiming with this would be out of the question. Second dart, I want to try and attach a dart to one of the balls that we normally use. And I fully expect that this is not going to stay on, but it might stay attached for just one shot, which is all we really need to test it. But I think this would be a case for like 3D printing something that can fit on the front of the dart is definitely doable.
You just replace the tip with something.
Exactly,
or even,
exactly.
like print something in a flexible material like TPU or TPE.
Yeah, I mean, you'd want it to be something soft so that it doesn't wreck your wall anyway.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start naming these, I think. So the first one I'm calling Flappy, and this one is Ball. Well, I like Ball. I like how Ball works. And then my idea for the third dart is just to fill it up with something. Because the way that these guns work, I believe, is that when you pull back the mechanism and then you push it forward, it pushes a bunch of air, it creates pressure in the seal between the dart and like the little gap that's inside it.
Yeah,
it's a spring-loaded plunger. When you cock the gun, it pulls the plunger back and
pushes
locks
the
the spring, and then when you pull the trigger, it releases the spring, which pushes the plunger and pushes all that air out the barrel.
Right. So I'm thinking if we block the inside of the dart so that there's just less air getting into it, there should be, in theory, less pressure, right? I wish I had taken physics. Stay in school, kids.
There's an entire Nerf modding community that I'm sure that we can get some information from.
That's true, but they generally, the Nerf modding community focuses mainly on making Nerf guns look like real guns, right?
No, not necessarily. There's some that are looking to, make Nerf darts that are the Nerf launchers that launch them so fast they can nearly pierce a drywall.
I feel like that's also in the same vein as trying to make a toy gun look like a real gun. I mean, I have seen some really cool cosplay stuff with Nerf, where people have made like portal guns and stuff.
Yeah, there's I think two different veins. One is aesthetics, and the other one would be performance, and then mixing the two to your tastes.
I'm gonna repurpose this gaffer tape that I ruined by just shoving it in a hole. So there is a limit, I guess, to how stuffed you can make a Nerf dart before it stops working. Oh, this one's gonna work. I'm interfering too much with the seal.
If it gets too grippy around the edges of the dart, then it won't leave the barrel.
No, the problem is that I filled the hole of the dart so much that it won't go, it doesn't fit in the...
Oh, it doesn't fit in there
Yeah.
anymore. Yeah, there's usually a little receiver on the inside that it goes over inside the gun barrel.
Okay, that did it, but that didn't seem to slow it down at all. But I'm ready to test these. Okay, dart number 1. This is the one with stuff shoved in it. Ah!
Okay.
Saw that.
Yeah, it definitely did see it, and it also saw it where it was hit. Okay, so we're gonna try Flappy next. Not confident this is gonna hit anywhere where I aim it. Oh. It seems like it's lost that seal. Yeah, that one was too slow. That didn't even make it to the wall. And also it's really falling apart already.
What if you throw it?
Pardon?
What if I throw it?
It's gonna be hard to throw. It's just a square piece of cardboard. That was my head.
It's got crazy wind resistance is what you're saying.
That was pretty fun. But yeah, I don't think Flappy is the answer. The ball works the best. So I think 3D printing something for the end of the darts is the way to go with this. Something round, soft, or even just like some kind of a holder for something like a cush ball. I think that would be the way to get Nerf working. All right, one last go for posterity. Oh, that time it didn't track it. I think it's the bounce.
Yeah, I saw it bouncing away, but it was
yeah, it's too fast.
Play area at that time.
Yeah, but the ball works good. I think you know, I'd want to test how small we could make the attachment on the end, but it's not just like that it gives it more time and it flies more slow. It's also, I think something like that would be easier to collect. My dart totally fell apart on that last throw though. So I think I'm gonna call it a day and say that the result of this test is that there are ways to use larger Nerf darts and potentially even smaller Nerf darts with LUMOplay games, but you would have to modify the dart. So if that's something that people want, we can come up with a design, we can keep testing, and we can figure out a way to do it. But what we need from you is ideas for games, because most of the games that we make for a wall are for kids throwing balls, which they can do much more quickly. And these guns are annoying. You have to keep reloading them. So, like, if you can think of an experience where reloading the gun isn't going to be annoying, let us know about it in the comments. And I'll be back next week with another video about LUMOplay. He probably went to the can. Let's give him a second to answer.